What is up, my Saber is the Saber podcast, and as you can see that I called you ugly last week, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say ugly. That was rude. But we have Mr. Scott Cameron. We got Camdog back for round 2.
Why are you scoffing at that?
No, it's like you said, it's cool. We need nicknames.
I told you we need good catchy nicknames, and you're here sitting like Taylor MacBook.
People don't see it. So he is back. He's back. The TikTok blew up, and so I was like, "Ooh, this is the way to get him to get it to grow is get Scott on." And so yeah, you're not on TikTok, but the TikToks were blowing up. I mean, more views and likes and comments than ever before. The Oklahoma and Bama fans, they were out to get us because they did not like anything we said about Oklahoma and Bama.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know like 5 people from Alabama, and no one actually lives in Oklahoma. Is that even really a state? Just because they have a panhandle?
Yeah. Well, we said that Bama beat Oklahoma the first time, and I was because you know how that brain like I could not think of Bama's second loss, and it was to Oklahoma, and we just kind of like we both missed over it. There's so many games, and we make mistakes. So
sorry, not everyone cares about Choklahoma.
Yeah. So but the TikTok thing, you know, if you're on the TikTok, does that mean the TikTok has access to your Wi-Fi?
If you're on the TikTok, does it infiltrate your DNA?
I uploaded this video to TikTok. Does TikTok have access to my videos now? TikTok's in my house.
You need to run for Congress.
You and I were on TikTok together. Basically, you were in my house. So some of my intro notes, I said that you need a better camera. We talked about this beforehand. I said you look like a troll in 1994 TV box.
Listen, man, I'm just using what the Lord provided to me, and He's gonna see me through. So you think you're the first one to make fun of me? You know what? Here, hold on. I was the youngest. I had to wear hand-me-downs, not only from my brother, but from my sister too. And I don't even want to talk about that. But now that it's out there, it's out there. So you're going to hurt my feelings?
You've been wearing her underwear for years, all right?
I have.
You know you're in the presence of a certified forklift driver?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Hey, so we as of yesterday, I'm at 426 downloads on Apple and Spotify. That doesn't include the YouTube and the little bit of TikTok that's kind of gaining some traction. So we're at 426 on Apple and Spotify. If you guys help me get to 500, okay, that means Scott has to start working a little bit, posting some stuff to Facebook because, you know, he's here. Dare I say
but you never gave me access.
Is he a co-host now? He's a temporary part-time co-host when he feels like it. If we get this to 500, okay, that means people got to start sharing this link a little bit. We get to 500 by Christmas time, I'm buying Scott a 4K camera. 4K webcam on Amazon. That's like $25 max.
Let's do it, people.
Okay, we got to draw a line.
I just hope both hosts have a good time.
Mm-hmm. We will have a good time tonight. So tell people to hit the subscribe.
Hit the subscribe button for crying out loud. Knock it off. Don't be lazy.
Thank you. And the last thing, he is going to join us whenever he feels like it from now on. And I've said this many times, I'm working on my history episodes. Okay, so this is going to be a weekly thing, and then I'm trying to do the history ones on the weekend. We have a name for it. You want to hear the name?
Bring it.
Okay, it's called the Sabo Standard Presents the Coach Podcast, the Chronicles of Athletic Controversies in History.
That sounds like a mouthful.
Would know.
I tell you what. Can you actually make this into an acronym? So we could call it something
like my normal one.
Yeah. What would say? Hold on. Time
the
out.
SSP. The SSP.
No. What'd you call it? The Sabo Standard what?
Well, the normal
Podcast.
is.
I know the Sabo Standard. Yeah, presents
the Chronicles of Athletic Controversies in History.
Chronicles of Athletic Controversies in History.
Coach.
So. Oh, you can't see it. It's a coach.
You know I can't see
it's
it.
Coach.
Because you're on your 1994
it's coach. See? I knew you were going to dig at me. Hey, listen, you know what? Hand-me-downs. Bring it. You're not going to hurt my feelings.
All right, let's get into it. So, first things first, let's just talk about some of the college football stuff kind of we picked up from last week. We mostly talk 99% college football. We'll get to the NFL because you really want to hammer it last weekend. Obviously, there's been some Mahomes news and some playoff spots that are getting taken care of and teams out. But college football wise, real quick, there's not a lot of whole new like game stuff until this weekend. We have the playoff, the first rounds of those. I don't think we're going to change our picks. We did those last week. I think we're pretty happy with what they did. But there's been a lot of like other news, and kind of the most shocking is that the Tulsa guy is doing both jobs at Tulsa or Tulane in Florida. That's the biggest news in college football right now.
But I did read where the coach is giving $100,000 to the NIL. Mm-hmm. Just like kind of saying he's leaving like the kindest, like most gentle, Mr. Rogers kind of way. Like, I'm proud of you. Thank you for making me a millionaire, but I've got to go.
His Twitter page is like, his profile pic is like half Florida, half Tulane. His bio says head coach of Tulane and the Florida Gators.
I'm the Green Wave, but I love those Gators. I will say this though, I love it. Those guys they're doing the best they can, and this goes along with the calendar and the problem with how everything's falling. And this has just been such an unusual year. But I think a lot of coaches are tired of navigating NIL, and so people are jumping out. I mean, you think of like Whittingham and leaving Utah, and I think some of that's just a burnout, and I think those things are really starting to affect coaches. So you're really starting to see coaches that are embracing or they're tired of the racing. And so I think coaches like that, they're embracing it, but all this is happening so quickly. And, jobs are going to remain unfilled. And the thing is, you have big jobs, the winningest program in history, like Michigan. You would think if 5 years ago, if that position was open, there'd be tons of people like lining up.
Yeah.
But it's just not happening.
I don't think Michigan's a top 5 job. Speaking of the Michigan job, obviously, Sherrone Moore is not there anymore.
That's plenty.
Yeah. Breaking news last week, like Wednesday, after we do this, Wednesday hits, and relieved of his duties because him and his girlfriend are no longer relieving themselves with each other. And so he's relieved of his duties as head football coach. Biff Poggi is the interim until they find somebody else. And you kind of remind me of Biff Poggi, scam artist and always in the right spot at the right time.
Biff Poggi did actually win them some games. My Sherrone Moore is out, but he's out with egg on his face, and it's a bad situation. And it's one of those things where you kind of feel bad for his family. As much as I hate Michigan, as much as I hate Michigan, I feel zero guilt or shame for Michigan as a program. None. Like, you've literally sold your soul to get to where you are. So when something bad happens, that's on you guys. As for him personally, it's a bad spot. In his first family, that's horrible too. Real quick, I remember when the whole Tiger Woods thing happened, and I was talking with a buddy of mine named Adam DeWeber, and I was like, dude, Tiger Woods, you're the greatest golfer of all time, debatably, and it's like, how in the world do you make this decision? Like, how do you go this off the rails? And he said, real simple, man. You keep your eye off the prize for long enough, you get strayed the wrong way, and I think that's kind of what happened with Moore.
Yeah, and with Sherrone Moore, like, as an Ohio State fan, like, besides his wife and his kids having to deal with this, because they are the 4 people that have it the worst right now. But besides them, as an Ohio State fan, it is hilarious. It is so funny, all the bull crap that they've dealt with, that they're going through, that they bring on themselves. First off, as Ohio State fan, it kind of sucks because Sherrone Moore's not a good coach. He did get lucky against Ryan Day last year. Ryan Day had his worst game as a coach, but other than that, like, Ryan Day was going to just whoop him for the next X amount of years, and now he's out. But at the same time, too, had they went and got Kalen DeBoer or Dillingham, like, it scared me a little bit. But at this point in time, like, who's going to be the guy? Like, it's going to be Biff Poggi again next year? Because there's no other options right now for him. Like, unless DeBoer just gets blown out Friday night by Oklahoma, I don't see him leaving. Like, and why would you leave Bama for Michigan? Right now, Michigan's not a top 5 job in my mind. It's Ohio State, it's Bama, it's Texas, it's LSU, USC, I would take all those jobs over Michigan.
Well, and there's so many unknowns in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know, and I always tell people, it depends on when the latest craze and outrage is on whatever subject matter. Insert item here, like what is it? And I always say the same thing: wait 2 weeks. I mean, just wait 2 weeks. Wait for stuff to come out because we're going to know a lot more information. And I think this is going to be one of those things where we may not know information for another month as to how much the AD really knew, when they knew, how much they knew, the applicability of what they knew into the situation. There's a lot of things we don't know. And so I think there's a lot of coaches that are like, do I want to jump in that dumpster fire? No, they don't want to do that. So especially DeBoer, like, dude, Alabama's, as much as, I'd rag on Alabama, they're a classy unit, man. They're a high-class unit. They've got great facilities. They got great backing. You're in one of the best conferences in the United States. Why would you want to leave that for the situation that Michigan is in right now? You could triple his money because money is not an issue, dude. Once you got like $10 million, you don't need more, Money's not the issue with him. So
more money, more problems.
That's right, boy. That's why we became teachers.
Yeah, 100%. This is going to be a teaching podcast coming in the football season. No, and the thing with Michigan, too, is like Sherrone Moore's in a bad spot right now, in a bad spot. And there's obviously been a lot of controversy the last few years with everything and controversy that he's played a part in because he's faced suspensions for things. Maybe it gets to the point where it's best for him to start talking a little bit and kind of, you guys know the story, but I'm going to wreck everybody else now at this point in time. And so, that might happen in the future. Other than that, there's been some big transfer news.
It's amazing what birds will chirp when they're in a cage. So, yeah, I think you're right. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually he starts singing and, or maybe, I don't know. But I think you're absolutely right. What were you going to say?
There's been a lot of transfer news.
Yeah.
DJ Lagway, Dylan Raiola, and I'm not trying to make a silly 6'7" joke because, again, we are teachers and tired of it. But Raiola next year will be in his 6th school in 7 years. Four different high schools in 4 years, and then obviously a second college within 3 years. If you're a college, why would you want that guy? I wouldn't want him. And obviously, like at one point, he was committed to Ohio State. Glad he didn't. Grass not always green on the other side. Gave us Julian Sayin. But why would you want him? He's just going to leave after a year.
A little bit like a Quinn Ewers, but you understood the Quinn Ewers situation. Okay, he's a Texas boy, came up here, didn't pan out. I get it. As much as I didn't like it, I get it. I really didn't like the mullet, so I was glad when he cut the mullet. Because Wesley Willis, if you guys don't know who Wesley Willis is, cut the mullet, look it up. But you're right, Dylan Raiola. However, did you see who is taking a look at him?
Texas Tech. Was that right?
Yes, you didn't see that.
I mean, you see some stuff. It always seems like a bunch of bull crap. And for him too. Like, listen, I like Mahomes. I'm a Mahomes fan. I don't want to dress like Mahomes. I don't want to play like Mahomes. He wants to be his Mahomie really bad. That's Mahomes every single time he's listening to play. No, I think the kid has some talent, but there's levels to being a mental midget, and when you are just transferring over and over and over again, why give him a shot? It's not like whether he was at Nebraska or not, he's probably leaving after next year. He's chasing the bag. He's trying to go to the NFL right away. Whether his development is right or not, but I don't know. I wouldn't want him on my team if I wasn't an Ohio State fan.
But if you're Texas Tech, you're in the playoffs. It would seem to me like you could do better than Dylan Raiola, who's, mind you, not coming in 100% either. He's injured. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're getting 100% Dylan Raiola. You know what I mean?
Did he tear his ACL? So now Mahomes is copying him. It's ridiculous.
Give me your arm. Yeah, what?
Lagway's another transfer. I think Lagway of Florida last year versus this year is way different type of player. Who knows why? I think Lagway is probably the best player in this portal, other than maybe Sam Levitt.
Yeah.
I think Lagway goes to LSU.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be Lane Kiffin's first call as soon as he can, and get him over there, and that's his quarterback for next year's first year there.
Do you think Bryce Underwood will stay in Michigan?
Yes, only because I don't think he's gonna get that much money anywhere else. And I think Underwood's all about the money, because if not, he would have went to LSU the first place. As soon
Right.
as he was there, Michigan's like, hey, here's $12 million. And then he did not live up to that. He didn't even live up to it as like, hey, he's a freshman who could grow to something. He is nowhere near worth $3-4 million a year. And
No.
so I
Yeah.
don't think
Yeah.
he can get that money anywhere else. He's smart just to stay there.
Did you read? Was it Troy Aikman? They were talking about is basically insinuating Brown that's at Oregon. How he ponied up like $100,000 to UCLA. It's like, hey, get this guy, sign this guy. I gave this school this much money to get this quarterback, and he just left after 1 year. He's like, I'm not supporting anything they do anymore. I'm like, that's NIL, and until they get this crap under control, players have more rights in college than they do in the NFL, and it's insane. The free agency every year.
It's 1 year free agency. I definitely, like, after this season and after the NFL's over and we kind of have some dead time, like, really get into like what would be the option to fix all that crap, because there's no right answer right now, and it's just gonna make us angry to talk about it. And so
Yeah.
other college football news, Levitt, I don't know where he goes. I kind of wish he would have stayed at Arizona State. I think him and Dillingham had a really good year last year. Obviously, they had Scadaboo too, but they kind of disappointed a little bit this year. But I think that he's a good quarterback in that conference. Like, stay there. I don't know where he goes. Does he go to, a Penn State, Michigan State? Is he going to go to where one of these new coaches is heading to? I don't know. But I think he's leaving the Big 12.
Levitt has a really strong arm. I don't know about the mental aspect of the game, and you saw that a little bit last year in the playoff game where the big moment mattered, and it just didn't. And I think some of that was the team, but I think there's a development that has to happen, and that development's not going to happen at Arizona State. He needs to go to a school with a really good quarterback coach, and I think he'll be really good in the end for it. But Arizona State ain't it. I'm kind of surprised he didn't make a run at like USC. I mean, sorry, Lincoln has a good track record of that.
Yeah. And maybe he's smart to go and sit 1 year behind Jay Mayava next year or somebody else and kind of get that. Last thing college football wise before we move on, talk Sound NFL, because that'll be our biggest one of the week, and then your little segment that you get every week now when you decide to be on. Jeremiah, the Bolitnikoff Award is the biggest fraudulent award in college football. Like, think about it, and I know as Ohio State fans we can kind of be a little biased as wide receiver but really the talent that we have had is insane. And since what, like David Boston, like, we've had one Bolitnikoff winner. It was Marv, and it was the year that Marv probably didn't even deserve it. Like, Marv deserved it the year before, didn't get it, and then he lost to Jalen Hyatt and then beat Malik Neighbors when Neighbors probably had the better year. And then this year, Jeremiah Smith finishes sixth in Heisman voting. He won Big Ten Receiver of the Year, and he lost the Best Receiver award to a player in the Big Ten at USC. These awards have become a joke and subjective at a lot of times. And I even think, like, the Heisman at some points, like, I'm not saying Mendoza didn't deserve it, but for Sayin to lose the game the way they did, when I really don't put 5% of that loss on Sayin, to drop him down to fourth behind Pavia and Jeremiah Love, all because of a loss. And Mendoza has like the worst QB stats of Heisman winning quarterbacks in the last like 20 years. I don't think Travis Hunter deserved it last year. Like, I just think that these awards are becoming a little bit Fugazi, a little bit more.
Who do you think deserved it last year?
Genty. I think when it comes to value of a player on a team, Boise State was in that position. They were a good team last year. I mean, they lost to Oregon by 1 point, and they had the worst game of the year against Penn State. I think that game was a split if they played it 10 times. I really do believe that. I think Boise State was a good team last year. and so much of it was because of Ashton Genty. And I think Travis Hunter was a good receiver, and he was a good DB. He's not the first player to ever do that. He's the first player in a while, and people fell in love with it. And I think the Dion effect and the Colorado effect. I
Sure.
don't think Travis Hunter deserved it last year. I really don't. I think that he was good at both. He wasn't spectacular at either.
Who wins? What is the Heisman Trophy supposed to be for?
Well, that's the thing too. Like, it's best player in college football, right?
Yeah, and so now you say the best player in college football, or is the best college football player?
That's the thing.
I
We
don't think
don't
they're
know.
the same. And
But it's the same with almost every. It's NBA MVP. Like you and I have talked MVP or NBA stuff plenty of times, and I'm sure we will in the future. Like, is it a most valuable player award, or is it best player for that season that put up a lot of points
correct.
and was fun to watch? And depending on the year, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that, and it's not fair to then compare resumes sometimes based on that award. Deshaun Watson, college Deshaun Watson, was one of the best college football quarterbacks you will ever see. Didn't win a single Heisman Award. Should he have? Probably, but he didn't. Toby Gerhart back in 2011 or something lost it to. Gosh, I'd have to look at the list, but the year that he should have won it, like I don't know, it's so subjective sometimes, and it's just annoying to always get brought up. And I know Jeremiah Smith and Julian saying don't care. Like you saw saying all weekend long and all those things. It was like,
Yeah,
what's important to him, and that's get another one of these
fingers.
wedding rings.
He's Mormon. He should
Jeremiah
go to
Smith.
BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but here's the other thing too. A little bit like the LeBron effect. How many years did LeBron not win the MVP because it was so obvious that he should have gotten it, and he didn't get it. So it's a little bit like
7,
that
8,
with,
9 years.
right. Yeah. Are you sure 6, 7, 8, 9 years? But the big thing is Jeremiah Smith is clearly, obviously the best receiver, and it's not even close. Jeremiah Smith is an NFL All-Pro playing college football right now, and
If you could, if you actually could, and whoever has the first pick in the draft this year could draft the rights to Jeremiah Smith and give up next year's pick to do it, I would do that right now.
oh, absolutely, I
To know
wouldn't
that
even think
guy can
twice.
play receiver for me someday, I would do it in a heartbeat.
They do
And
in baseball.
yeah,
They
and
draft a guy
I know
and he
it's
goes
still.
play.
I know that's silly to say. Like there obviously could be something that happens, but I wouldn't do that with quarterbacks on the regular. I would do that with Jeremiah Smith this year because you are I'm guaranteeing that he is an NFL Hall of Famer, and so people want to jump the gun on that all the time. If you watch everything that he does as a receiver, there's nothing bad. Like even Marv.
Right.
Marv wasn't always like the best route runner.
Right.
Marv wasn't always the best, at certain things. He was really good at using his hands to catch the ball, and he had really good. He could go up and get it. Or like JSN. JSN always put himself. He put himself in great positions because he was a great route runner.
Good route.
Not
yeah.
always the best to adjust to the ball, but he got himself in positions because he ran great routes. Jeremiah Smith does all of that.
Yes.
All of it.
And more. And he's fast. And he's huge.
And he makes one-hand catches, he makes two-hand catches, and he makes three-handed catches. Like he's the best receiver to play college football.
He's
in a long,
Megatron
long time.
2.0. He's Megatron 2.0.
Yep.
And it is he's a once in a generation talent. But I think it is one of those things where it's too obvious that he's the best, so you can't give it to him. Which is stupid, but that happens. But it also comes down to who the heck is voting for these people? Like, it's like that, and like, who votes for these baseball Hall of Famers? Like, snobby people are like, well, F. Kent was quite a player back in the day, and he also did not take steroids. So therefore, by the virtue of the game of baseball, we're going to say he's a Hall of Famer, but Dale Murphy's not. But in the meantime, those steroid boys are so bad. And it's just like, who's voting for these people?
Yeah.
Like,
But David Ortiz is in.
Condoleezza Rice. Listen, I'm sure she's a very nice lady. I'm sure Condoleezza Rice is a wonderful human being. She wouldn't know me from a can of paint. But you know what? What has Condoleezza Rice done?
For football, nothing.
Nothing.
Might as well give my wife a vote. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a vet.
Kelly
and
Sabo.
She makes candles. Like she deserves. Give her a vote.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to spot her business on this podcast, pal?
She's official sponsor of the
Ew.
previous podcast, right?
Oh
I've
wow.
I've done my
Well,
podcasting before. Never had a sponsor. I have one now. Okay, Olive
hey,
Moon
there
Candle
you go.
Company. Okay, hey, her first line sold out. Okay, sold out
I
within two
heard. I saw
days.
that.
Yeah, so everybody, be on the lookout for the next drop in January. Okay,
What's the new scent gonna be? She
can't
making
release
a
that
new scent?
information yet. Yeah, she makes a new scent.
Sabo's armpit.
Well, eventually she's gonna come on here. I'm gonna tell her like, hey, I think that I deserve to like, have a scent named after a candle named after me. Um, if you guys make her business really, really, really big, I can quit my job teaching and buy Scott 2 4K cameras.
That's
All right,
right.
let's transition to the NFL. So the NFL, I was doing my tier list before the season, before we kind
Why
of
were
got
you
to decide
crying?
football. And so I had Super Bowl contenders, playoff locks that could win games, playoff teams, the middle and the bottom. And the Chiefs were in my Super Bowl contenders until they couldn't be anymore. Because I said it last week, as long as Patrick Mahomes is there and the Chiefs are in contention, I could see them winning it all. Now
Not no
they
more.
lost, and the three other games that went against them obviously did. Even had they won, they weren't going to win anything without Mahomes. So they have dropped out of my Super Bowl contenders team. They have dropped out of the playoff teams. I'd still put them in the middle. Like they can win in these last games, so it doesn't matter. That team is out for the year. Super Bowl contenders, like after watching this last week, the Broncos, the Pats, the Rams, Seahawks, Bills, and Bears. Those six teams, like they're a tier above right now. The Bears, the freaking Bears are Super Bowl contenders. Ben Johnson is amazing, man. He's
I think. Well, okay. So I'm going to back up on this a little bit. First of all, I think it's hilarious that the Christmas Day Amazon game that they're like, "Oh, the Chiefs, we're gonna have Patrick Mahomes throwing the ball around. Oh, we love Patrick Mahomes. Him in his little number 15 jersey, whirling around and throwing the ball. Oh, he's so sexy." I think it's so now they have this like really. They're gonna have who is their backup quarterback? Brock Heward. What's his name? I don't even know. What's his
Gardner Minshew.
Jim Druckenmiller from West Virginia. He's like 60 years old.
Gardner Minshew, buddy. Pretty sure
Gardner. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he has a beautiful mustache. But so it's like now they're stuck with this grade B game. I think it's hilarious. Anyways, I think I my team's the Packers. I love the Pack. Go Pack, go.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
That's right. So
Packer guy, big old Packer guy right there.
Here's the thing, though. They're really, really hurting now because obviously Parsons and his knee. So, it was really funny between the celebrity murders, the shooting in Australia, and two huge injuries in the NFL yesterday. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine, Alicia Strzelecki, and I was like, as crazy as this world is today, like every once in a while you'll still have a day and you're like, wow, that was nuts. That was Sunday, Anyway, so but Parsons is out, and that really changes the Packers' defense. They're still good, but they're not deep playoff run good. And so what I thought was going to be a great Packers-Bears game this coming weekend, I'm like, ugh, and I don't know, man. I think the Packers are in trouble. Love does okay. He's had some good games, but he's really relied on that great defense, and now that defense went from an A to a B. And I think the Bears, and let's have it up for the Bills. The Bills were like pooping their pants, and all of a sudden, like they started making all the right plays, and Josh Allen just put that team on his back, and man, great turnaround, great run.
For the Bills too, it's like if ever there's been a year, it's this year. You don't have Mahomes in your way. I know the Broncos and Pats are both really good, play really good defense, really well coached teams. But you are the Buffalo Bills, you are Josh Allen. Like this is your year to go do it. And I think a Bills Rams or a Bills Seahawks, a Bills Bears Super Bowl would be a lot of fun. Would be really, really good matchups. And your Packers, I have in my like playoff locks and could win some games. Like I don't see them winning enough, but they could go in and upset a Bears team or a Seahawks team.
Sure.
They could go into one of those places as a wild card and win, maybe get to the NFC Championship like the Commanders did last year. And then the Eagles, the Niners, Chargers, Texans, and Lions are all my ones that like. I think they're going to get in, and they could win some games. And then my playoff the other ones are just Jags, Steelers, Ravens, Colts, Panthers, those are the kind of the remaining ones. Everybody else is out now.
You know, the Steelers. The Steelers.
The Steelers are going to get in the playoffs, but they're going to lose to the Bills in the first round.
If that's who they draw, you know, because they're going to have to go up there. However,
Buffalo's going to end up being the 5th seed, and Pittsburgh or Baltimore is going to be the 4th, and we're going to host Buffalo, and they're going to come in, they're going to whoop us in at Acrisure like they did a few weeks ago. Like, it's inevitable. And then I'm going to say fire Mike Tomlin.
Here's the thing, though. Aaron Rodgers looked really good last night. And now, granted, I know who they're playing, but they looked pretty good last night, and they do have a pretty strong receiver core, but their defense is they've gotten some better receivers. Who did they have at wide receiver the last couple years?
George Pickens
and
Calvin Austin before. Like he's the worst receiver I've ever watched in my entire life.
Exactly.
Right now,
who are their receivers right now?
Our second best receiver right now is a freaking tight end. It's Jonnu Smith and Darnell Washington and Pat Freiermuth. There's nobody right now. Marquez Valdez-Scantling was playing last night. Okay, Marquez Valdez-Scantling is the second player to record 2 catches from Aaron Rodgers, record a catch from Aaron Rodgers in both the Packers and Steelers uniform. Do you know who the other one is?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers himself. He's awful. Not Aaron Rodgers. He's old now, but Scantling is really bad. And then we had Adam Thielen on the field last night. Like, this is not 2017. I'd be happy, but we're not. DK Metcalf last night finally played like he's been paid to do, but he did what Pickens was. Now, if we had Pickens and Metcalf, I'd be like, yes, I agree with you. But our receiving core is not there. They didn't address it. Kenneth Gainwell.
I'm a big fan of Metcalf.
Honestly, no, I am too, and I like Metcalf. When we made the trade, I was like, Metcalf and Pickens, that's awesome. Right now, Kenneth Gainwell is our second best receiver. He's our second best running back. Like that's the depth that we have now. If they played like they did yesterday, they can win some games. I just don't think that they will. Like there's nothing that they've showed me that will be consistent with that. They're going to lose to the Lions next week. They'll probably lose to the Browns, and then it's going to come down to like Baltimore. If Baltimore loses the next 2, then it's winner take all for the division.
I do,
but don't worry, Mike Tomlin's going to get to 9-8.
I can see the Steelers winning the first round playoff game, but they won't. I could see them win depending on the matchup. But yeah, they won't get past that. But I honestly. We'll see what happens with the Packers, but I could see them doing the same thing. They could win a first-round game, but after that, that defense just won't hold water. But then again, so do old people. They don't hold water either.
Yeah. You look like you haven't drank water all day long. You okay?
Yeah, I feel great. Why? You go on. Stay on air. Say on air what you told me before we started. What'd you say?
I don't remember. That was 34 minutes ago.
You said, boy, you look a little thin on top. And I said, yeah, I'm thinning in areas that I wish I didn't.
Oh, yeah. You were very happy that you said that. Any other NFL stuff that you kind of want to hit with that? Obviously, Mahomes is done for the year, and that sucks. Like, I'm a Mahomes guy. I like Mahomes. I like the way he plays. I think he has potential to be the greatest player of all time. I don't think he's done winning Super Bowls. I just think that they've hit a wall this year, and Kelsey's done after this year. They got to address the receivers. The defense is not anywhere near what it was. And the thing about Mahomes is like an ACL tear anymore is not a year. An ACL tear most of the time is 9 months. There's a very good possibility he's back by week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 next year. He's not missing the whole season.
No.
And so as long as Mahomes is there, like they're going to be a good team. They're going to have an opportunity to contend for Super Bowls. If I said the over-under at 1.5.
They need to, since they've been losing, they need to, like you said, they do need to go and replace Kelsey. So they need a solid tight end replacement, draft or trade. And they need to get an H-back. Like a really good H-back. They have never been the same ever since
Kareem Hunt the first time.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, yeah. But, and ever since they lost the baby maker du jour to the Dolphins, they've just never been the same. And you could see
Pacheco was never the running back. Yeah, Pacheco was never the running back they expected. And they need somebody that they don't need to rely on to catch the ball out of the backfield. They need somebody that can be a good up and down runner. Get 4 yards, be a bruiser. Because they do have, like, I like Rashee Rice. He's a really good number one receiver. I think Worthy hasn't lived up to it this year. This is the hype that he had last year. But Worthy can be if Worthy's your second, third best receiver, you're in a good spot. They just they are so one dimensional.
Yeah.
If I set the over under at 1.5 Super Bowls for Patrick Mahomes' career, you taking that over or under? The rest of his career, 1.5.
Well, how old is he? 31?
I think he's 30.
30?
Let's say he's got 9, 10 more years. I mean, realistically, he's got 9, 10 more years.
If he has 9 or 10 more years, he'll win another one. Yeah.
So you're only taking one? I'm taking the over 1.5. I think they win at least 2.
You think so? Here's the thing. What makes Mahomes great is his escapability and the ability to extend plays outside of a pocket and throw in unorthodox manners. Have you ever had a knee issue before?
Mm-mm.
I'm telling you, there's something psychological. Do you remember when you and I shot basketball in the gym that one time, and I said and I beat the crap out of you in every facet of the basketball game, by the way. But anyways, and I told you, I said, it's weird to jump and shoot basketball after you have knee surgery because it's a mental block. It's a little bit different, you know. I was, 39 when that happened. He's 30 and has great doctors and everything else. But there's still something about that mental aspect. And anyone who's had a knee or an ACL tear or anything, they'll tell you the same thing, man. It's a lot more mental than physical.
Yeah. Like I said, I just think
it's tough.
At this point in time for NFL, for NBA guys like that, for high-end college football players, it is such a speedy recovery. It's a different type of thing than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago where, every player can handle it differently, but there's nothing about Patrick Mahomes that makes me think that he's going to be soft little clown boy about this and not come back and be anywhere what he was. So sucks for him, sucks for him. But at the same time too, I'm always one like.
Go on.
Go ahead.
What do you think about this whole thing about people saying Jim Harbaugh is the greatest all time? They're like, oh, he killed the Buckeyes. Now he killed Patrick Mahomes' career. What a stud.
God, Harbaugh's a clown. Just hot dogs in his pocket type of guy.
He's booger eating, no shirt wearing.
Who's got it better than us?
Anyone that's not named Jim Harbaugh. I tell you what, though, I'm not going to lie. I have a lot of very powerful people in my life that are big Jim Harbaugh fans. One of them might be my boss. So
after they won the national championship a few years ago, and you had Harbaugh's dad, who looks just like Jim Harbaugh, by the way, and has no teeth, and like, who got it better than us? You gotta watch it because that's our little Harbaugh thing. It's annoying. Nobody. Nobody. You know who definitely doesn't have better than them? Sherrone Moore.
That's true. That dude, bad day, man. Had a bad day. Yeah, he's had a bad month, year, potentially decade.
Lost his job, lost his wife, lost his ex-girlfriend.
Actually, I will say, didn't his wife, like, she's been kind of like hanging out, kind of supporting him. Kudos to her, man. Like, she's trying to be there for him a little bit. And from what I've seen, you know, man, that's...
You got 3 kids.
It's a bad situation. You feel bad for the kids and everything, man. And that's not a good situation. But, boy, I sure like watching Michigan suffer.
Yeah. Hey, I have one more thing before you get to your segment. I saw a tweet today talking about blind resumes, and I just want to say that I absolutely hate blind resumes in anything. Context is so important in all aspects of sports. You can give me a blind resume and be like, yeah, obviously that looks better, but there's so much more context in that. And I just wanted to kind of say that because someday we're going to do blind resume stuff, and I'm going to probably give in and do it, but I hate them. Go ahead. This is your segment now. This is as
Wait temporary... a minute. So if you're talking about blind resumes, I was literally looking up statistics of Tulane and James Madison. Are you ready? Okay. Hold on. I feel like that old person's like, I got a video of my daughter playing for Elise on the organ or something. Okay. So Tulane football. You ready? This Now, last week we talked about this and how much I think Tulane has no business even at not they don't even belong to the kids table at the college football playoffs. They need to be eating outside in the car with a little dinner tray, TV tray, eating a frozen dinner. Okay. And everyone talks about, Tulane's defense is just absolutely stalwart. They're just fantastic. Yards allowed, 406 per game. That's 91st nationally. Points allowed, 26.2, 73rd nationally. Third down conversion, 43.9%, 109th nationally. Red zone defense, 87.1%, 94th nationally. Why the heck are they in? They're 11-2.
Why are they in?
Who put these people in? You know who puts these people in? Condoleezza Rice.
Because when they came up with this idea, they really thought there was no way that the big four wouldn't have a Power Five or a champ, a major champ. I know.
It's so dumb. Notre Dame would beat Tulane by 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Texas would beat Tulane by 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Yes.
I agree. James Madison and Tulane should be out. Notre Dame, Texas should be in, or Notre Dame and BYU.
Listen, at least James Madison is 11-1. I'll give him that. Okay,
but they're not a top 12 team.
They have a great running back. They have a good running back. Their quarterback's not real good. I think he has like 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And so he's it's not like, oh, holy crap, dude, that guy's like 35-3, 10-1. It's not like that. So, but at least they only have 1 loss. Okay, you ready for my segment? And this has nothing to do with sports.
This is my new part-time, when you feel like it, co-host, okay, of the Sabo Standard Podcast. We're not adding your name to this, by the way. It's not the Sabo Standard Podcast featuring Scott Cameron.
Camdog's Conversation? Camdog's Conversation piece?
That's the conversation. That's the segment name, okay, but I'm not changing the show. You're introduced to Scott Cameron when you join on, okay, but Camdog's Conversation.
Okay. All right. Best and worst cereal, go. And why?
Worst. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best.
Why?
Because the cinnamon, the sugar on the little crunch, and then your milk afterwards being all cinnamon and sugary.
Crunch?
Yeah,
the little
Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the crunch piece, the cinnamon and sugar part.
It's like an onomatopoeia.
Mm-hmm. And then your milk afterwards is superior. And there's some really good cereals. I don't eat cereal much anymore. I am a grown adult. I'm not a 12-year-old kid. So I don't eat cereal. But if I had to go buy a box right now, and I would buy is Cinnamon Toast Crunch, there's no hesitation. He said I can only buy one.
It's trustworthy. It's trustworthy. In Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's very trustworthy. You're never going to have a bad experience with it, right? Mm-hmm. It's always reliable. It's good old reliable. Okay. I can live with that.
And the worst is Raisin Bran, because not only am I getting not only am I getting unfrosted Frosted Flakes, like Frosted Flakes without any frost on them, I'm getting raisins. And like raisins themselves are disgusting. You're taking raisins and then putting them in milk and eating them with unfrosted Frosted Flakes. Disgusting.
No, time out. You realize the raisins have sugar on them, right?
No. The raisins and Raisin Brands, I could go outside and find my little Chihuahua's dog turds, and they're going to resemble better raisins than the raisins that are in Raisin Bran, all right?
You get little deer turds inside?
Yeah. You could grab...
You can cover them in sugar, too?
Mm-hmm. Probably tastes better than Raisin Bran.
I doubt it. So, wait a minute. So, you don't like Raisin Bran just because of the raisins. You just don't like the raisins?
No, I don't like unfrosted Frosted Flakes either. Whatever the little corn...
What if they put raisins What if they put raisins in Frosted Flakes?
They don't want to be the worst cereal ever. It still wouldn't be good. Raisins are disgusting.
Oh, so it's really the flakes that you don't like.
It's all parts of it. I don't like raisins, and I don't like unfrosted Frosted Flakes. I don't like little corn flakes.
So you mean to tell you wait? So you'd rather have a big old bowl of corn flakes or Wheaties over Raisin Bran? You would have Wheaties? At least with Wheaties, it's just like straight up. Wheaties is like without raisins. It's Raisin Bran without raisins.
Yeah, because I probably got LeBron James on the box. I can look at it. Or Patrick Mahomes on the box.
Yeah, glue that to your ceiling house. Yeah. Okay. Mine. Listen, my tastes have changed as I've gotten older. Um, there's a teacher I used to teach with. This is so embarrassing. There's a teacher I used to teach with at Bucyrus. His name was Phil Joseph, and I remember we were in the teachers' lounge, and he goes, I can't impersonate him too much. He's like, "Hey, Scott, what do you think about?" And I can't remember the teacher's name, and I was like 23 at the time. I'm like, whatever, and he goes, "Well, she's really something. You know older women. You know about older women?" I'm thinking, no, dude, I'm 23. Like, and he's like, "Yeah, older women. You know what to say about older women." I'm like, "No, what is it, Phil?" And I can't say it on air. But as I've gotten older, I understand what he's saying about older women. I'm not saying I'm going to try going after a 90-year-old woman. But what I'm trying to say is your tastes change as you get older. And when I was younger, I loved Lucky Charms and all that stuff. But I'm not ashamed to admit now, Honey Bunches of Oats with almonds, that slaps more than Will Smith in a Chris Rock show, man. That's like, it is fantastic. And there's something about the little shred of almonds. And sometimes you want the almonds that have the exterior coating. You don't want the shred of almond with that, just the white. It's just like if you had that little exterior coating, the precipice of the almond, it's like it adds a little extra like grit to it. It's wonderful. But the worst cereal of all time, shredded wheat. If there was like shredded wheat, man. If you could make Amish night out on the town a cereal, it would be shredded wheat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
Imagine eating shredded wheat's kind of probably like being a math teacher. Just unbearable.
Yeah, having parabola parties, taking a math bath.
Yeah. Fruity Pebbles are probably another like high end for me, but the problem with Fruity Pebbles is you can only eat like 9 in a bowl at a time because the moment they get soggy, they are bottom tier.
Well, Cocoa Pebbles are the same way, but at least it makes your milk chocolatey and delicious, right? I mean, and so it's like, oh, I can live with some, slight mid-grade crunchiness, but I'm sacrificing my crunch for delicious chocolate taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Cocoa Pebbles are God, and they sent.
All right, that's all the time we have for Camdog's Conversations. Segment number 1 of Camdog's Conversations is officially in the books. Wow, just some high standard stuff.
It'll be a random question every time. It just happened to be about cereal.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I do have a random question for you. Who's your favorite person that you taught 1 year with?
Oh, let's see. Trying to think of my. I don't know. I had a really good student teaching experience.
And the rooms were connected to each other.
Chris Smith. He's the AD at Ontario now. Yeah, I shared a room with him. He's a really good guy.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, and then there was this guy named Tyler Sabo. You
want to know what's hilarious is that so the kids that are seniors this year are my first year, and then like the juniors obviously my second year, and so they come and I a few TAs during the day, and they come in here now and they're like, "You are such a better teacher than you were when I had you." And I'm like, "Yeah, my patients are a little bit thinner. I actually have like things to fill out a period instead of just like, oh wow, well I'm done talking about matter now. We have 25 minutes. Let's stall a little bit." No, I'm just like, hey, you're doing this and this and this and that and this and that. There's no time for general chit chat anymore.
Teaching's just like any other job. It gets better as you go, and you learn. And but good thing is you had a mentor that showed you how to play paper football.
Yeah. Teaching's so great that I just started a podcast just to kind of have like a little bit of sanity in my life, to have my one thing that isn't teaching, education. Ugh.
You sound morose.
I don't know what that word means, and when you say it, I'm kind of offended by it because you know that I don't know what it means.
Didn't you ever watch Dead Poet Society?
No.
You never stand up on a desk and say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain"?
No. All right, you got anything else important?
Well, we have we haven't really talked too much about college basketball, and I know you said you haven't watched a whole lot of college basketball.
Yeah, Duke's going to win it all this year. I pencil them in as my national champion every year. You know what? So we're at 51 minutes. We'll go to an hour max. Talk college basketball the rest of the way, and then we'll kind of close out. So I really liked Ohio State basketball growing up almost as much as football. I obviously like watching Aaron Kraft and Deshaun Thomas and Jared Sullinger and William Buford and David Lighty and Diebler. You know, those were the teams that I got to grow up on, and I really enjoyed just watching those guys, especially Aaron Kraft play. And Thad Matta left, and they brought in Holtman, and I wasn't mad at it then, but he just stayed around 3-4 years too long. And he really took our program and put it in the dumpster. And then they fire him, and they give Diebler the interim job. And I know he beat Purdue, but you could have had Dusty May or Calipari. And the fact of the matter is that you let Dusty May not only not go to Ohio State, but let him go to the rival, who's probably going to win a national championship this year. Like, they are so good. And he is such an elite coach. He's such an elite coach. And obviously Calipari, like, he's got only the one national title, but he's brought 3 schools to the Final Four. Arkansas was good last year, his first year in. Those were the 2 guys that you could have had over Diebler. And it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating because, yes, we are a football school, the Ohio State University, but
this is for John Calipari.
Sure, but, you know, tomato.
Well, and here's the thing, though. You know, I was thinking about this last night, actually, believe it or not. I was thinking, man, Calipari's he's never been as good, and a lot of it's now. There's a lot of coaches in all the sports collegiately that are struggling with this because now you can actually legally pay your players. Or
the money doesn't go in the back door anymore; it just goes in the front door.
Right, and so it's really been the great equalizer for all these great coaches, but really they just had money to get the great players. We all know that.
You know, Calipari, though, he was the innovator really for the one and done. He said that we are going to be the best team by getting the one and dones. And then as soon as the guys like Coach K and Roy Williams started to do it, then that's when Duke and North Carolina, the true blue bloods, were like, yeah, we're still top dog because now we're doing it's no different. Like Nick Saban was so good, and then he kind of started to fall off a little bit when he's still trying to run his, run the ball offense. As soon as he was like, we're going to go fast, we're going to be a spread team, what did he go do? He won another 4 national championships. And so the best coaches adapt, but it takes somebody to innovate that. It takes the Chip Kelly, it takes the Calipari to go innovate that first, and then the greats to come and steal it and master it.
Right, and there I can see that. The big thing is also, even as much money as Kentucky has thrown into their program this year, they are very substandard of what they want to be. So money doesn't cure all, fix all. And I
well, he's like done it. He left Kentucky. He's at Arkansas.
No, I know. But
Kentucky's
gone
it's
through
not like,
a few coaches.
Yeah, it's not like he left and they elevated.
Right. Kentucky has a little bit of a Michigan problem in the sense of they're always trying to get a Kentucky man, the blue blood of Kentucky. Let's see if we could get a Kentucky man in here to coach us all the way to the glory land. And they're struggling to find that.
Bucci's, yeah.
Pope's just they're
Bucky's
just not,
whatever.
They're just not as. You want some gas stations and beef jerky? They're just not as good as what they should be, and so money doesn't fix everything. You still have to have a quality coach. And I tell you, I watched the Duke Michigan State game, and I felt like I was watching a Final Four game. It was really good.
For Duke, they've been so lucky that Shire's such a good coach. I mean, like you hear it and you say it all the time. You don't want to be the guy that replaced the legend. He's done a really good job. I mean, every year they've gone further and further into the tournament, and it almost just feels like it's inevitable that he's going to get one.
Eventually, yeah. And obviously, with the brand, they have the ability to recruit heavily and get great players. I'm not real convinced of Purdue. Their big man's really great. I like him, but their 2 and 3 man is just not real solid. And Their point guard is really great, but their 2 and 3 are just.
Yeah.
It's not enough to be a tournament winner.
Yeah, I'll definitely start hitting college basketball probably like January. I always started watching a little bit more and more, and then February I kind of start hitting it hard as we gear for March Madness. I just spent so much time with college football and the NFL right now that it's taking a back seat. And I like the NBA a lot more than you do. I think that there's some good things in the NBA that people kind of want to turn a blind eye to sometimes. But college basketball. Mm-hmm. College basketball is a great sport. It just, like I said, with Ohio State and what they've done to the program the last few years, it's just hard for me to have full interest all the time. The Shot is like the worst place to ever have a basketball game. I'd love to my kid's 1.5, so we still got some time. But
ready?
I want to take
take,
college
basketball. Take. It's time for a hot take. I thought of another
analogy.
Said,
I got a hot take.
Ready?
I said I was gonna have a hot take. I got a hot take.
I got an analogy. The Shot is the shredded wheat of venues.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
The Shot is teaching math of venues.
Shut it down. Clock it.
Yep. Yeah, the Shot. Yeah, it's the worst place to have a basketball game. I want to take my kids someday, and then I honestly don't want to take them to that arena. It's good for a concert. You ever seen Drake at the Shot? It's great.
No, I never seen Drake. I saw Drake at the pond once.
No, you did. Drake doesn't go to the pond.
Drakes are all over the pond.
Mm.
It's a male duck.
I know.
Do you though?
Anyway, yes.
I don't care about Canadians.
I don't think you can say that. I don't think you can say that.
Okay, I will care about Canadians if they get us to 500 likes on our podcast.
You're a big Justin Bieber fan. Stop kidding anybody. All right, you love Justin Bieber.
Hey, listen, my daughter Macy hates Justin Bieber, so I'm hoping she watches this and she's like, "Oh, Dad, don't ever mention that again."
Does Macy? You think Macy does listen?
I asked her. She goes, "I haven't had time to listen to the last one." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, fine, whatever."
Yeah.
I said you should. Amber said you should have her on.
I will. I absolutely will.
She's the female version of me.
Yeah, I feel so bad for it. All my friends are, all the other people in my life, they're like, I see it all the time. Have you listened? No. You even did it last week. You said, no, I haven't listened to your podcast. Everybody's a bunch of haters.
But we're going viral on the TikToks, the talks.
Yeah, we're getting 1,100 views on them. And that's like 30 comments. These guys don't. Everybody's just a copy and paste podcast. Bama clearly lost Oklahoma the first time. Bunch of jabronis. I made a mistake. I'm sorry.
It's the Panhandle State. They're angry. Listen, if you had to live in Oklahoma, you'd be angry too. What is it? What is in Oklahoma that's exciting?
Besides Boomer, Sooner, you have nothing.
Bosworthen coming out there with his bad haircut to play on Saturday or Friday. So.
Yep. All right, you joining next week?
I'll give it a try. Are we going to go on Tuesday again?
We're on winter break next week, buddy. Okay, we are teachers. Yeah. We get the next 2 weeks off. We'll be talking the recap of the college football games, and we'll be gearing up for the New Year's Day, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, all those games. So looking forward to that. Excited for it. Another great weekend of we get our first round playoff games. Great weekend of NFL. I'll start watching some college basketball, and 3 more days of work. Let's suffer through it. All right, let's get through it.
Try.
All right. Well, you threw me off guard. Hey, do you remember how we end this podcast?
Something about milking a cat, stray cat.
Jamal Williams, he once said, "If you're gonna piss like a puppy, stay on the porch. Let the big dogs eat." So Jamal Williams, go ahead, take us out.
Because if you go piss like a puppy, stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat.